G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Look, I'm finally doing my 3D bloom in my huge sunflower mold. This is about 30 centimeters, 12 inches across. Massive. Right. I have mixed up my resin. I'm using the Let's Resin Fast Cure. And this is very deep mold, but it's kind of sloped a little bit. So it's higher in the middle and then these slope down a little bit. So you've got to make sure you've got enough in here. I hope I've got enough. I've got 200 grams of A and 180 grams of B, 200 of A, 180 of B. Look what I got for my birthday. Infrared laser thermometer. Oh, look, we're on 33 degrees Celsius. Woohoo! I can't toggle that between Celsius and Fahrenheit too quickly. So, yeah, I'm sure you could look it up if you wanted to see what that is in Fahrenheit. Now, because it's quite intricate in the center there, I have got two gloves on this hand. I've double gloved, and I am going to just see if I can maybe reduce the number of bubbles we get caught, because any little sort of intricate areas in your mold, those pesky little bubbles are going to want to stick to. So I'm just going to see if I can maybe rub the resin in these areas. It might not work, but I just thought I'll just try it to see if it works. So just a very thin layer. Now, because I weigh my resin, and you guys that are following me know this, but if you're new, because I weigh my resin, A is heavier than B. When you get your bottles of resin, you can weigh them and see for yourself. So I just do 200 of A and 180 of B. Otherwise, I've got too much of one bottle left over than the other. If you're doing it by volume, then you don't have to do that because it's the same. Volume's the same, it's just weight's different. All right, so that's that. I don't know if it'll work or not. I may end up with more bubbles. I put 30 grams in there, and the rest of it is going in here. I might have made it worse, I don't know. I can still see a few little bubbles sort of in there. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if it's worked. Okay, that's that done. Where's my little silicone pointy stick? Just pick a few of the bigger ones out. Yeah, I don't really know if it's helped a lot. Now, because my resin was quite deep sitting in my cup there, it's going to go off pretty quickly. So we'll have to get a wriggle on, and yeah, pour quickly. So that has filled the first layer of petals that I can see there. Hasn't filled the next layer, but it's filled the first layer, which is fine. So I'm going to go in with some, actually I'm going to take this top glove off now because it's all sticky. Okay, there we go. Clean glove underneath. Put a little bit of this sort of black or brown stone in there. I think it's a dark brown. Like so, and I'm going to follow it up with a little bit of black glitter, just like so, because the glitter can kind of spread a little bit more, just so that I don't have that totally round center. It can be a little bit more kind of natural looking, if you know what I mean. Okay, that'll do for that one. All right, so I'm going with some Deco Realm Avocado around here. Deco Realm aren't very highly pigmented, so they spread nicely. And then we've got Tangerine. Something in there. And then we've got Mango for the yellow. Now, depending on what this looks like, I may do 2 layers of blooms. We'll just wait and see what it's going to look like. Try not to put too much colour in, but there we go. Too much ink will affect the way that your bloom moves. All right, so I've got 30 grams in here. I'm going to do 3 drops of bloom. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Little squeeze, wait till it comes to the top there and let go so that you're not getting a whole huge drop or a train following it through. 3 drops of that. Okay. I like to get the ink in first so it can sort of settle and start moving and do all the things that ink needs to do. And then I've got my piping bag in here, ready to go. Actually, I want to test this temperature again. Oh, it's gone to 30. That's good. As soon as you decant, it's got, you know, a bigger surface area, so it cools down instead of heating up faster. When it's in a big cup like that, it's deep, so, you know, it starts curing really quickly. So get it out quickly before it starts overheating too much. Whoops. Torch that. I think that's... So it's still a little bit on the transparent side there. You can see through onto my previously used stick. Oops, there we go. You can still see through it. A little bit more of a stir. I don't think it's quite stirred well enough. I've got a lot of orange there. That's okay. I don't want to add any more ink now because the ink moves, and if you put ink in too close to when you're piping, the ink will move and then it'll disrupt the way that your blooms form. Has that happened to anybody and you've sort of gone, oh my gosh, why are my blooms all wonky? The way I have found that to be is if I put, I'm just cleaning my stick, if I put my inks in too close to when I'm dropping, or when I'm going to put my white in, then yeah, I get wonky blooms. And also don't spray any isopropyl alcohol near this because you'll get alcohol dropped onto it, and then that'll also move the surface. I would like a little bit more orange in there, but you know, anyway, it is what it is. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to trim. See how there's the white there and then there's the tip there. I'll kind of go halfway between the two there. Oops. Anyway, I'm just going to slice about that. Twist that around. Get the air bubble out. Tuck it in so it doesn't drag. We'll have a look and see the stream. Make sure you get a good size stream, otherwise it's not going to bloom properly for you. You do need your lines to be quite thick. That first one I did wasn't thick enough, so I'm going to put a little bit more on. So look, I'm not doing the traditional sunflower sort of shape here. I'm just going to draw petals. You know how sunflowers have got those sort of long pointy petals? I'm not going to follow that. I'm just going to do some blooms, do some petals, but in this mold, and hopefully it will look pretty. So going round and round, just keep going until my white's finished, and then if I need to come back and do a second layer, then I can easily do that. I need to wind that up. I'm squeezing from the middle. I do that with my toothpaste too. Who squeezes from the middle with the toothpaste? We should squeeze at the end, shouldn't we? At the bottom. All right, where did I get up to? Here. Let's keep going. Try and make all these petals relatively the same size. Looks as if I'm going to have enough to do the whole thing. Maybe, maybe not. wind up again. I'd have to do another layer. I was planning on only sort of doing a half, and I thought, yeah, 30 is going to be fine because I'll come back and do another layer afterwards. Okay, that's it. It's empty. Okay, so now what you need to do is we need to go and, if we can, just tidy up any big blobs, because if there's a big blob like that, it's going to be more likely that you're going to get a blobby on the other side. See that big blob there? It's going to be heavier. So we just try and smooth it out a little bit if you can. Now you can see the outside's sort of blooming and spreading a little bit faster than the inside. It always does that. The resin cures, like it moves from the outside in, so there's more of the outside, so it's sort of coming across faster. Whereas the inside, well, it's already inside, so it doesn't have that far to go. But what I'll do is I will encourage it with the heat gun to get it to move a little bit more. If you're going to have problems with a bloom closing up, it's more likely to be with a bigger mold like this than it is on a smaller one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my heat gun and I'm just going to push, just going to heat this middle bit up, kind of push it, try and get my heat gun horizontally and try to push those petals. Just those center ones, encourage them to move a little bit. We don't want to overheat them because, you know, we've waited for the resin to thicken, and so we don't want it to thin down and then the white drops down. But look, I only used 3 drops in three little drops in 30 grams, so hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully it'll close. A little trick, if it's not closing, you can get a syringe and you can like suck a little bit out of the middle and it'll go and like suck everything and make it close for you. So that's a little trick. But if you're going to do that, you really need to not put your center in. So if you're doing a big piece and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm a bit worried that it might not close, don't put your center in yet. Wait for this stage. See if it's closing. If it's not, take some out with the syringe and then put your center in, okay? Otherwise, you're going to be sucking up all those stones and glitter and it's just going to clog everything up. So, yeah, don't do that. Right, I'm going to come back to you in about 10 minutes or so and we'll see if it's closing or not. It's only been a couple of minutes and I wanted to show you what I mean about the center curing first. Like the center will cure first. So at the moment the center is 38 degrees and we'll go over here to the side. It's only 28 degrees, so there's 10 degrees difference. That's why your center doesn't close and move as much as the outside, because it cures from the middle, and you can tend to feel that it's quite warm in the center and that it's not. So that's another reason why your center doesn't close. I think I will just try and suck a tiny bit out. And I know I'm going to get glitter and stuff, but yeah, I'll just try it. So I've just got a little syringe, make sure it's got a point on the end. It's not a lure lock. Try and go straight down. Now it's actually good that I can show you with my new thermometer the difference in the temperature. So I've got a lot of glitter in there, as you can see. Just going to squeeze it back into the little bag here. Like so, and I can feel that's quite warm and quite thick already. I'll go again. Sorry if you can't see. My hands are in the way. But you can see that it's drawing in the center. Squirt that in. Yeah, I mean, I knew that the center got hotter first, but I'd never knew how much hotter. Okay, so that's down to 35 now because I've sucked the center out. And that's still 28. This is so much fun. Oh, it's 37 over there. This is so much fun. All right, let's go again because I really want these to close a bit more. I don't know if you can see how those are closing. I guess the other thing, like if you, I think I'll just leave it like that. And then you need to dip this in some isopropyl alcohol in a little cup and up and down until you've closed that and until you've cleaned that off. What was I going to say to you? I can't remember now. Oh, just want a little bit more green in the center. It's just going to sort of float across the top. I don't think it's going to move my blooms because they're kind of staying where they are now. So the other thing, if you are doing a big piece like this and you really want the center to close, do it in 2 steps. Do this much first. Do you feel the heat coming off that? Do this much first with your blooms and then leave it and then come back and do your second layer of your blooms. Okay, because that'll work better for you. And there's a big bubble. All right, so a little bit of education there on on resin temperatures, and I'm going to leave this for now. There's a bit of yellow just in there, and yeah, it's not going to look. It's probably not going to close all the way, but it is what it is. And I'll come back and see you anyway. We'll probably do a second layer anyway. All right, see you soon. All right, so I am back. As you can see, I'm in 2 minds about what I was going to do with this. I just wanted to get my resin up to about 35 degrees. Whoops. Try not to get it on the stick. So there, it's 34.1. So I will decant it. So this is what, if you haven't seen the mold before, this is what it looks like when it's unmolded. See, it's got all this texture in here and in here. And I don't think we're going to be able to see those center blooms because of all of this. So what I'm going to do is basically cover it and just do these sort of outer blooms here. I've already got like a little row here, I guess, little one. And I'm going to continue. So yeah, next time I'm going to do something different with the center. And then just do blooms on the outside. But anyway, we'll see what it looks like because I've never done blooms in this mold before. But yeah, that's what I figured. So more of the Let's Resin Fast Cure. And I mixed up 200 grams of A and 180 grams of B. It's a big mold, you guys. It's a big mold. And hopefully it will fill it up. Whoops. Whoa, gosh. Putting too much in there now. Take some out. Take some out. Gosh. Got to leave some room for my my white. Right, that should do. That should do. All right. Quick little torch. Things I've made some bubbles there now. Around the outside. Don't get near the silicone. So I put 20 grams, just over 20 grams in there, and I will put 2 drops of my bloom pigment paste in here. I've opened it properly. I haven't. Come on, down you come. I think this one's pretty empty. 1, 2. There we go. Close that off again. It is in my eBay store, and it's also in my, oops, it's in my US Amazon store as well. So that's that one. I'll stir that in a minute. So I'm going to go with the same sort of colors that I did on the first one. I'm going to do some of my black glitter in the middle. I've got a tiny little bit of resin in that one as well. So that's that. I did realize that my center was off center. So I've put a few little black dots in there just so that I can work out where my center is. Now the dogs are going to be a little bit noisy. I've got a builder here doing some work. I should actually go and shut that door. So every time he comes through the front door, they're going to bark. Just kind of spread that out a little bit more into my centerpiece. Yeah, my center was a bit off center, so I'll try and correct that with this one. Like so. Move everything over a bit. All right, that'll do. Can't spend too much time playing around because my resin's already at 35. Now I'll do some green, same as before, around here. I'm going to do a different yellow though for the outside, so a little bit lighter in color. So that's the green, and then the orange around here. Like so. I'm not going to use that same mango that I did last time. I'm going to go with lemon this time, just for around the outside. So on open, I'll just do a drop in each of these petals here, like so. Don't need too much colour. It's a nice pale yellow, this one, the lemon. Oh, it doesn't want to stand up. All right, let's mix this. All right, so that's looking pretty, isn't it? Mix that up. I'll put that in my piping bag. And yeah, hopefully this will be, I can kind of save it because I don't think it was going to look very pretty, but like I said, you know, I'm committed. I'm halfway there. I've filled it halfway with resin. If I don't finish it, it's just wasted. And yeah, I haven't used this mold before for a bloom, so I thought, let's just continue. Let's just continue and see what it's going to look like. But I really don't think those petals in the center are going to show up because of all that texture. And because it overheated as well in the center there. All right, let's pour this in. So with the bloom paste, it's nice and easy if you're a beginner with the 3D blooms. You don't have to like dip your stick into a jar of white paste and think, oh my gosh, have I got enough? Have I got too much? It's just one little drop per 10 grams of mixed resin. So it's an easy one if you're learning. You know, as you get more experience, you can tell by the color of your white, you know, if you need more or if you've put too much in. But when you're learning, it's good to just follow a recipe, isn't it? Like with baking, follow a recipe. Okay, here we go. So I'm only going to do, see where this darker yellow is? That's where my petals are from the previous one. So I'm just going to basically go over those. And I'm going to cut about that much off. I'll do it over here though, so it doesn't fall into my resin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the shape of these petals, even though this is the bottom. Probably should have actually followed those under there. Oh, look, I don't think it matters. Next time, hey, next time. Because, yeah, this is the bottom layer. These petals will be touching your bench. It's the bottom layer. We don't need to go that far down, actually, because I'm only needing to... Oh, there we go, I made it. Let's do, just for fun, let's just do little bits in here as well. If I've got enough. I don't know whether I'll have enough. Should have, actually, should have enough just to do that. Little bit there. And then I'll get my stick and pull through it a little bit better. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just over 20 grams. That worked well. All right, now the stick. I'm just going to use the pointy end. I need to buy myself some more of these. Really. So what I want to do is I want to pull from this orange up into the point to see if I can get that little bit of orange to come up through the petal. I think that would look pretty. Just pulling it through the top layer. I'm not going too deep. Gosh, it's a big mold, isn't it? It takes... There's a lot of petals to do. Okay, let's just do this. I'm not going to wipe each one. Gosh, I don't need to wipe each one. Let's just do this. Let's just do it. Okay, here we go. Look at me go. Look at me go. Okay, I'm going to get it done before the resin starts to cure, because once your resin starts to get too thick, your blooms aren't going to move and they won't spread. They won't bloom. So get it done. Quick sticks. And we'll just do these little ones here as well. Little points, like so. Where'd you go? There. Did I miss that one? Just little points here. Okay, so that's it there. And just where these little end blobs are, I don't think you're even going to notice those, but we'll just bring those down. Don't think you'll see those at all anyway, but just bring those down a little bit, like so. And then just tidy up a little bit where I think there might be like a little blobby. Just to smooth those out a bit. Because if there's a big blob, it's more likely to sink and have a blobby on the other side. Although I don't think you'll even notice it because we've got that other layer of petals underneath. Okay, I think that will do. That looks really pretty on this side, doesn't it? Okay, quick torch. Staying away from the edge, because that's where all the silicone is. And you will melt your mold and it will fuse to the resin, and then you'll destroy your mold. So you're better off using alcohol, but not with a bloom. Don't spray a bloom with alcohol, okay? Because it'll ruin it. The alcohol drops will kind of spread like that, and yeah, it'll ruin your bloom. So don't do it. All right, so that's basically all I can do at the moment. I think my center's off a little bit still, but I don't think I can do too much with that at the moment. Needs to come more to the left, I think. I just sort of break that up a little bit so it's not a definite line, but I don't want to disrupt my blooms too much either. Petals. All right, let's just leave it like that. I think that'll be all right. Does that look centered to you? The camera's on a bit of an angle, so, you know, it looks a bit different to you. It's like tilted a little bit so that I can see. All right, I am just going to leave it like that and hope for the best. All right, I will see you guys in a few hours and we'll unmold and see what it looks like. All right, it seems to have cured enough for me to unmold. So the best thing to do with this is just pull each one, because each petal's, I don't know if you can see down there, each petal's got a, like it's a double petal. There's that one and then there's that one down there. So there's two petals for each. See that? It's pretty cool. All right, let's get this unmolded. Just up and over, all the way around, up and over. Oops, that one's not as hard as the bottom petal is, because the bottom petal was cured the other day. Now, if you're doing this sunflower mold, oh, there's a bubble. I was just actually going to say to you, make sure that you go in and you squeeze, or try to squeeze these, so that you're getting the resin to go into those little points down in there, so that you don't get bubbles in them. All right, I'm going to put this black. I don't actually have a piece of black card. I thought I did, but I've only got a piece of white in the big size. I'll have to get myself a piece of black card. All right. Are we ready? Let me loosen it all the way around. Oh, okay. Now, just remember, the middle's not going to be like your traditional bloom because it's got all that texture going on in there, okay? All right. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Oh, that's not bad. Let's look at how pretty petals around the outside. I will link this gorgeous mold for you. eBay store and US Amazon store down below. Look at that. Look how shiny it is. Actually, you can still see. Oh, I'm gonna bring you down. You can still see a little bit of petaling happening in the center there, which I didn't think that you would, but you can actually see that in that section there. Just get this glove off now that I've unmolded, and I'll take you down and I'll have a little closer look at it. Okay, because it's a little bit difficult to see from up there. So you can see the petals on the inside there, but where all these little bubbles are, it's really difficult to see the petals below those, and you can't really see them until you start looking in this smoother outer petal edge. Actually, I was worried that you weren't going to see these. See how I did? Oh, don't look at that hole. Don't look. I might actually trim that off. These ones here. See, I was worried that you wouldn't be able to see those because they were on the other layer, but you can actually see, because they were on the bottom layer, you can actually still see them, so that's good. I was a bit worried about that. Where's that little bubble? I'm going to just trim that so that, you know, you can just, we're just going to disguise that. There we go. Disguise that petal. I'm trying to watch what I'm doing and cut through there. I mean, if you wanted to, you could get some UV resin, and you could, you know, if you've only just got one. I think I've only got one actually. One that's missing its tip. Yeah. So potentially you could just put some UV resin into that. You can put a little bit of tape around it and just pour some UV resin into it. But look, it's only one, and I'm just going to just trim it off. No one will know. Just a few thousand people that watch the video. Oh gosh, there we go. There we go. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So anyway, there she is in all her sunflower glory. There's the double layer there. So it would be an amazing platter. You could turn it into a clock. So, you know, if you're pouring it all in one layer, instead of what I did, you could turn it into a bowl. When it's still a little bit soft, you could pour it, put it in a plastic bowl and turn it into a bowl. But for now, it's just going to be a pretty little platter. So, oh look, we can see some green behind it. Move over here and, oh, look at that. There's the green. I'm moving towards my door there. So you can see that colour shimmering below there. So I'll put it in the sunshine here so that you can have a little look at it in the sunshine. But it does look, I guess you can just see the bloom a little bit better, you know, with a dark background. And there you can see all the detail of that mold. It's a really exquisite mold. But yeah, look, I've still got some blooms. Not many, you know, they're around the outside, but they are there. So yeah. All right, let me know what you think of it. And if you've done a sunflower, one of my big sunflowers, I'd love to see it. Pop it up on my Facebook group, Pouring Your Heart Out. And yeah, we can chat there. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one. And I will see you all again real soon for the next video. So take care, and I will see you real soon. Bye for now.